In parts of Beijing, it's not uncommon to see these moving around. They may look like regular cars or taxis, but they're actually fully driverless vehicles. China is rapidly becoming one of the world's biggest testing grounds for autonomous driving technology. I'm standing in one of Beijing's commercial districts, and I'm about to book a WeRide, which is one of the robotaxi companies that's operating here in China. So let's go. I think it's coming. We've been driving around for a while now, and this technology is really incredible. It's my first time in a driverless car. No driver in the driver's seat. The steering wheel is moving by itself, and it is taking decisions, driving decisions, very decisively. But what's really striking is how fast it's going at times. One of the big questions is, how do these types of vehicles know where they're going? Well, cameras help them see, radars detect the distance, size and speed of objects, and LiDAR creates a map of their surroundings. That combination builds a 3D picture of everything around the car. AI then processes that information in real time, helping them detect obstacles and navigate traffic. And just imagine as well, this is China. It's a much more dense urban environment than some countries in the West where there are robotaxis already running. It's constantly scanning things like cars, bikes, buses and pedestrians and reacting in real time. And while a regular driver might hesitate, this is much more smooth, much more decisive. But these robotaxis aren't taking over every street just yet. At the moment, they're only operating in carefully mapped areas and on approved routes in a handful of Chinese cities as companies test the technology.
So you can see the traffic environment here in China is very complex, but we also have some other challenges, right? Outside of China, for example, in Middle East, the temperature is very high, which means both our hardware and software needs to be stable enough. And in Southeast Asia, normally there will be heavy rain and some animals crossing on the streets.
Developing the technology is one thing. The next hurdle is making it as affordable as possible. China's autonomous driving companies are already benefiting from the same ecosystem that helped turn the country into the world's largest electric vehicle market. And so radars and LiDARs are much cheaper here than elsewhere in the world.
In China, because the EV is booming so much, all this younger generation, they like this, they like to try new features. Smart vehicle is more like a consumer electronic devices. People like to try these new things.
Qcraft develops autonomous driving software and supplies it to car makers around the world. The company also has autonomous delivery vehicles, and so in China, your packages could come in one of these.
Very promising on the technology side. At maybe the next, I will say, 5, 7, at most 10 years, it will get into our everybody's life. It will change our society, change our everyday life.
The shift to robotaxis is playing out globally too. Waymo in the US has its own fleet, but Chinese firms are using a different method overseas. They're partnering with ride-hailing platforms like Uber and Lyft, which gives them access to millions of customers already on those platforms. Regulators around the world are now deciding how quickly these services can be made available to the public.
Accident rates nowadays on roads are from human errors. For example, fatigue driving or drink driving or angry driving. So autonomous driving tech itself is really good. It can help to solve these kind of social problems. So the regulators here in China and, for example, in the UAE, Saudi Arabia or Singapore or Switzerland or France are very open to the tech.
But it's not all been plain sailing. Earlier this year, this was the scene in the Chinese city of Wuhan. More than 100 Baidu robotaxis ground to a halt, with some passengers reporting they were trapped inside locked doors. Local police said it was a systems failure, and Baidu suspended operations for several weeks. But Baidu says it remains on track to launch driverless vehicles in the UK later this year. There are still big questions over safety, regulation, and whether people are ready to hand over control to machines. But after transforming the global EV industry, China is now betting autonomous driving could be the next transportation revolution. That future is being tested on China's roads, and from here increasingly, roads around the world.